So what's up, guys? So today, being a rainy day here in Virginia, due in part to the hurricane that's slamming North and South Carolina. Fortunately, we didn't get any really horrible weather, just some rain. But because of the rain, I'm not able to get out and play the motorcycle like I wanted to. So I figured I'd do a video on something that I carry in the truck, another tool, if you will, that I've been swapping from the truck to the bike, from the bike back to the truck. And what that is a first aid kit. Now, I've only got the one bag, but I have enough supplies, I think, to make 2 kits. So there's a couple of things I had to order, a couple of things I had to replace. Some of the things had expired and I felt like I should replace them. And I'm going to show you what I keep in this first aid kit. And it's going to be a mirror image as far as products go, maybe not name brands, of what I carry in the one that I'm going to build for the motorcycle. That way I can just leave it on the bike in a little Pelican case or one of the panniers, and I can leave this one in the truck and don't have to worry about switching it back and forth, because inevitably it's going to get left in one place or another. So let me move the camera around and we'll go through and I'll show you what I keep in this first aid kit. And feel free to give me some suggestions or recommendations on what else I might need to carry. And without further ado, let me move the camera and we'll get busy. So I'm going to try to keep it on the frame here. Unfortunately, I got a tripod on the table and I got a small table and the light and everything, so that's where we'll go. Now, I don't remember the brand name of this pouch, for lack of a better term, but it's one of those ones where you can use these molly straps to affix this to something else, and this panel back here actually tears away. So you pop this buckle and you can tear the first aid pouch completely away from where you're storing it. So you can mount that on the wall, a backpack, or wherever you might want to mount it. And it's also got this little piece of Velcro on the top that you can hide the zippers or what have you. So let's just go ahead and dig in. It's quite a lot of stuff in there. Now, granted, some of this stuff is probably more towards an everyday carry type of first aid kit in a vehicle, and some of this naturally will not have to go into on the motorcycle. On the motorcycle, I just want to be for injuries and you know, that type of thing. So over here you see I've got these little capsules, watertight little capsules, and I labeled them. So this one's got some anti-diarrhea medicine in it. This one doesn't have a label, but it's Benadryl based on the color. For me, that's Benadryl. And this one has some, I think it's Ibuprofen, but I think they're 200 milligram capsules. I also have a bottle of hand sanitizer. You know, if you don't have anything else, this will clean up pretty good your hands before you start treating anybody. I also have some lip balm, and you can see this is Dollar General. This is SPF 30, so this is unopened, because you never know, you might get in a situation where you have chapped lips. You laugh, but it's true. This is just some simple roll gauze for some simple wrapping up of an injury. These are tongue depressors. These would be good for making splints for fingers and thumbs. Not much else with this short amount of wood, but they would make some good finger splints. And if you needed to, you could splint a fracture if you don't have anything else. I have some EMT shears, which are handy for cutting away articles of clothing so you can see how bad. These are titanium, so these are pretty tough. They'll cut through a lot of things. I have a pouch over here. I have a box of Goodies aspirin. These are handy. These work fast. I know a lot of people don't like them because they taste like straight ass, but I'm gonna tell you, they do work. So if I get in here, now let's see, what do I have? So I have some 4 2x2 gauze pads under there, and I also have 3 4x4 gauze sponges for bigger wounds. Hope I'll never have to need any of this, but I have it just in case. I'll shove these back in and I will, you know, come back in a minute. You know, I often get teased by some of my friends and coworkers about carrying a lot of this stuff, but I'm telling you, the first time one of them has an allergic reaction, they're going to want some Benadryl or some hand sanitizer. It's going to come in handy at some point. And remember, a lot of times you don't carry a first aid kit around to treat yourself. You carry it so you can help other people. Now, granted, you hope that they can know where this is to help you. That's why I chose this red color. If you look behind the seat of my truck, and this is the only thing you see back there, 9 times out of 10, average person is going to recognize this as some kind of first aid bag. And we'll go ahead and open this. Now, on this side, I'm not going to dig into that, because really the only thing that's over there, I think, is some owie bandages, you know, some alcohol prep pads, some waterproof adhesive tape, and some Q-tips. So this is like the owie side. You get a scrape or a scratch, come get a Band-Aid. On this side I have a cat tourniquet, and this is one of the things that has an expiration date on it. I'm not sure why. It's not been exposed to the weather, but this one is from 2014. As you can see, I've had it for quite a while. But I'm pretty confident that if I had to use this tourniquet, that I'd probably be able to use it. Now, you know, if you don't know how to use a tourniquet, or if you never had any basic first aid, probably not the best thing to have, but it's a good thing to have in a first aid kit on the same token, because just because you may not know how to use it, somebody else might. So if there's somebody around who has some medical experience or first aid training, can actually use this tourniquet to help somebody. I've had some first aid training in the military. A couple of years ago I had some TCCC, which is it's a military training, tactical combat casualty training, so it's pretty intense. This is a NAR emergency trauma dressing. This is for some really serious bleeding right here, and that's in there. I also have some Israeli bandages that's going to go on the other one for the motorcycle. This right here is a nasopharyngeal airway. Instead of tracheing somebody, doing a tracheotomy on them, you just use this loop pouch right here, and you push this into their nostril, and it actually makes an airway into their throat, so to clear any obstruction back there so they can breathe. If you have to use this, they're not going to care. Trust me, they're not. They're going to be unconscious or whatever. I have a swished roll of fabric tape right here, which is very tough stuff. I have some new skin, which is liquid skin, liquid bandage I say. This is another one that has that expiration date on it of last year. I think it might still be good. I tried to find some today, and where I went they didn't have any. I've got some triple antibiotic ointment. This also expired last year, and I do have replacements for that, so I'll just leave that out. Under here I have a cold compress, an ice compress. So you smash this up and you have some ice for somebody. And the top here I have another NAR compression gauze. This is smaller than the first one you saw, but it's pretty thick. It'll hold a lot of blood, you know, to be blunt. And I also have 2 pair of nitrile gloves and 2 sets of latex gloves. So that's pretty much the extent of this kit. And I mean, it's not super intense, it's not super complicated, but it's got the basics. I got some serious stuff with the nasopharyngeal airway and the tourniquet, and these 2 compressed bandages right here are probably the 4 most serious things in there, and of course the gloves. But this is enough to really give somebody care should they need it. Even if you're not trained, you can at least stop bleeding and before emergency help can arrive. And I think that's pretty important. And you never know, you're on your motorcycle, you fall down, break a finger, break a thumb, or your friend breaks a finger or thumb. At least you have a way to splint his finger and to help him, you know, release some pain or whatever. And this is a fairly decent kit for that. So this is basically what I'm going to make for the motorcycle. And I've got all my bags over here of all my stuff that I'm going to put in it. What I am going to do is replace that tube of triple antibiotic ointment with a smaller one, unfortunately, which is fine. You don't need a bunch of that stuff. But that's pretty much it. So yeah, if you carry a first aid kit on your motorcycle, I'd love to hear about it. And if you think there's something I need to add or take away, I'd appreciate it. Now, another thing I'd like to add, there's one of those, it's like a roll-up splint that you can unroll it and let it straight, it'll act as a splint. I just haven't got that yet. I figure when most people ride these adventure bikes, you're going to be in the woods, there's plenty of sticks that you can make a splint from, some field expedient stuff. If you haven't taken a first aid class or a CPR class, I highly recommend doing it. Not for yourself, but so you can help somebody else. You know, if we all took this first aid training, we'd all be able to help each other. So yeah, leave me some comments below on what you carry for first aid, and I hope this motivates you to at least put a small boo-boo kit together and keep on the motorcycle with you. You guys have a good weekend. Later on.